Well, good evening. I'm here at the Damascus Gate, which is one of the busiest gates of the old city of Jerusalem. Tonight's quite a special night. We're in the month of Ramadan, and the Muslims in Jerusalem are celebrating the time when God or Allah gave the Quran to Muhammad. And so there's a big celebration going on behind me. I don't know if you can see how busy this gate is here. And it's a really great time just to talk about the reality of this city at the time of Jesus. I don't know how you imagine the Passover, for example, the night that Jesus was betrayed. But quite often when Hollywood shows us those films, the streets are empty. Not only that, you know, it's a quiet night. They're scurrying around in back alleys as Judas betrays Jesus and so on. But the truth is, it was one of the three major festivals of which all the Jewish men over 13 had to attend. And so the reality of the busyness of the Damascus Gate tonight shows us a lot like what it was like that first Easter. There would have been hundreds of thousands of Jews from all over the known world who would have come flocking to Jerusalem to worship Yahweh. But also there was a whole load of stuff going on under the surface, because the Romans, they ruled the roost, and the Jews didn't like them. And the Romans were expecting some kind of zealous uprising whenever there was a religious feast. So they would have had guards on every intersection, every street corner. I don't know if you can see behind me in this booth down here, we've got the Israeli Defense Force. They're fully tooled up. They've got automatic weapons and grenade guns and all sorts of stuff. And there's a palpable tension here. And that's what it would have been like that first Passover. And yet in and amongst all of that, Jesus finds a quiet place with his 12 disciples. And he does something incredible. He says, for all this religious feasting, all of this festival stuff, all of this tension, I'm about to do something that is going to change history. It's called a new covenant. There won't ever be any more sacrifices needed, because it's a covenant in my blood. It's a promise that I'm making to you. And as Christians, we can just celebrate that. It's kind of cool to be here in the midst of this festival. It's a little bit sparky around town. There's been sirens going off all night. But actually that would have been the reality of Jerusalem then. It was just as divided as it is now. And yet in a secret, quiet back room, the upper room we call it, Jesus instigated something brand new that has really changed the face of the planet. Worth thinking about. Good night.